What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Panthers Advice. Today, man, we're going to take a look at our first Bryce Young interview since the season ended. He did it with TMZ Sports, man. Let's jump right into it.
Bryce, what is up, man? How you doing? Look, I got to ask you something, man. Obviously this first year, speed bumps, learning curve, all that.
So the reporter does a great job right there. He asked Bryce about the speed bumps and the learning curves. I know a lot of you guys aren't thrilled with me always supporting Bryce, right? Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. Come OTAs, training camp, preseason, we're going to be able to tell right away, has Bryce hit that learning curve? Has he gotten better from his freshman year to his sophomore year? If you're asking me, how do we know for sure? All we have to do is look at his footwork. If his footwork is still the same, we're going to be in trouble. We are going to be in trouble. But if we see a difference in his footwork, I'm telling you, we're on the track to the right path. I'm not telling you we're going to be great next season, but we're on the right track. Let's see what Bryce has to say.
So I got to know, where's your head at? Where's your confidence at going into this next season after the rest?
Yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like I've grown, and I'm definitely confident. And that comes from being able to play with the team that I have, being able to lead on my teammates.
See, right there, it's interesting because he talked about getting confidence from playing with the team that he had, right? Well, how many of those guys are actually coming back? Do the Panthers give DJ or LaVisca another shot? I think they should, but we'll see what happens. What does Dave and his staff want to do? Do they trade Adam Thielen, right? Do they try and get draft capital for him? Mingo, I imagine he's coming back, right? I don't think they're going to trade him. TMJ most likely not coming back. So the only guy for sure coming back is going to be Mingo. The other four guys I mentioned, 3 or 4 guys, I don't know that they're coming back. Let me know what you guys think, but I think the only guy for sure coming back was the guy that Bryce Young did not have great chemistry with, which was Mingo. Now, I think Dave can do a lot with Mingo, but I do find it interesting that the only for sure receiver that we know is coming back is going to be Mingo. Let's see what else Bryce has to say.
Getting new coaching staff, and I'm excited to get to work with them.
So right there, he talks about he's excited to work with the new coaching staff, and I 100% believe him. And here's the thing. I know some of you guys might not be so high on the Bryce Young train. I don't blame you, but here's the thing. Bottom line, they spent their first overall pick on Bryce Young, right? Traded for it and everything. We have to try and make this work. Frank was never going to work. Honestly, I don't care what quarterback they brought in. I don't think Frank was going to work. We can debate that another day, right? So now we have all these coaches to choose from this past offseason. Dave is one of the 2 guys I wanted. It was either Dave or Harbaugh. Now, some of you guys might comment and say, well, some of those coaches didn't want to interview with Carolina anyway. That's completely okay. I'll take our defensive guy that we have now over most of those guys anyway, right? So let's continue the video and see what else Bryce has to say.
So again, I feel like I've grown, I've learned. I'm excited to improve this offseason, get better at some things, and I'm excited for year 2.
Do you think that in year 2, the franchise, everybody, the coaching and everything, you all went through it together?
So right there, the reporter asked Bryce about the coaches and players' perspectives, struggling year 1 and going into year 2 and having momentum. Well, here's the thing. Half the coaching staff is already gone, and actually probably more than half. And we just talked about the receivers. We know Mingo's coming back for sure, or most likely, right? Then Thielen, potentially, unless he gets traded. Other than that, I don't know who else is coming back from the receivers. You know the offensive line, that's going to look almost brand new. Probably a couple of guys stay on the line and start. Miles Sanders, does he have a spot? Secondary, that's going to be interesting as well. So this whole philosophy of struggling year 1 and using that to build into year 2, it's going to be a whole new team this year. Let's see what Bryce has to say.
You feel like there's a movement that's happening there that may shock people.
For sure, yeah. Again, it wasn't the year we went to have last year. Some tough times, but you grow through that. I feel like as a team, we grew a lot closer to that, and we're all in that together. And we're all dedicated to turn that around.
So that right there pretty much wraps up the interview, right? Bryce talks about he's confident with the team. But like I've been saying this whole video, the team now, and it's not really a team because there's no really official roster or depth chart since the season ended, is going to look so different 5 to 6 months from now. Come OTAs, training camp, preseason, this team is going to look so different. Like I said, there might be only 3 to 4 starters from last year's team on this year's team starting. I think Hubbard's going to start. I think Bryce is going to start, obviously. Maybe 1 or 2 linemen and maybe 1 receiver. So maybe up to 5. And even saying 5, I don't even know if that's true. The defense is going to be interesting because I think that secondary is going to get revamped completely. Linebackers, I feel like we're good there. We need opposite help of Brian Burns and Derek Brown. Burns is another person we're going to talk about. Stay tuned for that. But this whole team is going to look brand new, and I'm not opposed to it because we saw what happened last year. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. More content coming soon. Stay tuned.